This is a message to the United States government. Release the limited edition Beanie Babies that you have in Fort Knox. I know that's where y'all hiding them. You can't lie to me. Well, guess what, everybody? I'd be goddamn if it ain't snowing. Sweet mother of black baby Jesus. It's fucking snowing. You know, it's kind of weird. Oh, I forgot to do the intro. Hold on a second. Oh shit. Hello, fellow Antifa members. Are you ready to get woken? Are you ready to fight corporate neo-Nazis and then disappear for a couple of years while they take over the world? There you go. Antifa seem to be kind of like a group of 10 or 12 like kids. And then once shit got heavy, they decided to say fuck it and not really go after it again. That's a joke. Antifa, don't come for me. Anonymous, don't hack my mobile phone. I still got access to Pornhub, even though they've locked it down across America for some reason. I don't get it. Anyways, hey guys, how's it going? How you doing? How you going? It's your boy, it's your man's homeless snow dog here. That's my nickname now. Whiskey and Snow Dog. Whiskey because of the whiskers, of course, obviously, and Snow Dog because, well, goddamn. If you see behind me in the light, it's snowing. And it's snowing pretty good right now. It's kind of weird coming from the Gaston County, Charlotte area. Last time there was a snow threat, they're talking about like it had been 3 years since we had any snow. And I really didn't even think about it until I stopped and thought about it. And I seen it and I was like, God damn, they're right. It's been about 3 years, man. Been 3 years since I've seen snow. So I'm lapping it up. Of course, I'm homeless, so I have to be out in it, but still. And I know what some of you are thinking right now. And I'm going to tell you what I told the police officer who caught me sleeping and woke me up one night, asked me, or told me about a shelter. And what I've told aid workers about shelters. I know some of you are thinking right now, John, just go to a shelter. You're homeless, dude. Go to a homeless shelter. Okay, so first of all, let me just say something to you guys who are going to say that. Any of you who are going to say that, and you have homes and a job, and you ain't got to fucking worry about it, and you've never been to a homeless shelter. Let me clue you in, okay? And this is the best example I can give for it. Say I take a cage or a room, just a room, a big room. Let's say just your average, pretty big room. Now, I'm going to take you, and I'm going to shove you in there with 10 people, 10 to 15 to 20 people you don't know. Sometimes 30 or 40 people. But no, let's just say 10. Okay, let me be fair to you in your emotional state. No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go down to 5. I'm going to put you in a room overnight with 5 people. You have no clue where they come from, who they are, and you won't know who those 5 people are until you get there, until you agree to stay there, okay? Now, any of you right now can honestly sit here and tell me that you're going to take that goddamn deal, then fucking stop paying rent and go live in a homeless shelter and keep your fucking jobs. Because that's all I can fucking tell you. I don't know why the fuck you guys think these are viable solutions. You know they're shit, you know they're garbage, and you know they're horrible. But yet, you use this as justification to say, oh, well, we ain't got to worry about it. They got homeless shelters. Oh, they ain't got to worry about it. They got a night shelter. We ain't got to worry about it. Those people are taken care of. No, they're not. A lot of instances, especially in Gastonia, there had to be police on site, because there is a multitude and facets to homelessness. Okay, first of all, we need to eliminate the stigma of homelessness across the country. All right, there ain't just one kind of person, one kind of people, 2 kinds of people, 3 kinds of people, 4 kinds of people who go homeless. Okay, it is a multitude of various things, from hardcore drug addicts to fucking pedophiles to fucking serial killers or serial murderers or convicted murderers to very psychotically disturbed people to people who fell on hard times. It could happen to anyone, anytime. Most of you are one goddamn paycheck away from going out on the streets, and you know it. Now, going back to what I was saying, imagine I put you in a room with 5 people. You don't know. Can you guarantee, can you tell me honestly, which you can't, because 99.9% of what the people tell you about homelessness and what they know about homelessness and blah, blah, blah is based on goddamn nothing. No life experience, no kind of real world experience, nothing. The only motherfuckers in homeless crisis prevention or homeless assistance that I've ever seen get anything done have been people who've experienced homelessness themselves. The other motherfuckers, the Christians and all these people who come in who've never goddamn had to struggle or anything like that, they have no fucking clue what they're doing. And you can tell they bring that stigma to the table. They bring that ignorance, that stupidity, and that judgment to the table. I know, right? Christians in America judging unduly and judging biasly and judging fucking stupidly. Who would have thought, right? They're only doing that shit through the entirety of their government influence right now. And not to mention funding genocide in Israel. Let's not forget that, because they're trying to basically create the apocalypse. But that's beside the point. We'll get back to the point of the night shelters. Shelters, you know, especially now too, they don't have COVID protocols anymore. You could have fucking 4 or 5 people come in there with COVID. You would never know. They don't have mask mandates. They don't have health regulations like that. They don't have sanitary practices. So you can have 10 people in there who are clean and then have one guy in there who smells like literal piss and shit. You know, and that's what it is. You know, I mean, and that's the fucking truth. I'm going, you know, make no mistake. I know some of you sit in idle judgment of me and you use stigmas that you supposedly don't have to judge my position in my life. First of all, you got to understand, I am not, you know, and I can't say this enough because I know the stigma's there. You're thinking to yourselves, John did something horrible to get in this position in life. John's a horrible person. I know, I'm waiting on it, blah, 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 blah. And you've never seen proof. Some of you have seen me for years and known me for years through social media. When have I ever been fake or whatever and haven't called out myself on certain shit? If you pay attention, which by the way, there's follow buttons, subscribe buttons and everything. So there's no excuse to say that you guys don't know when my content comes out, because you can easily follow my content. You can easily see and, you know, keep up with my life. It's not a goddamn mystery and it's not that fucking hard. You can follow a channel of fucking Will Smiths or Jack Blacks or goddamn celebrities all day. You don't question it. But the artists and the people who actually need money and who actually need support, you don't fucking do shit for. Another hypocritical bullshit of America, right? But I digress. Going back to the homeless shelter. Why don't you just stay there? Because it's an animal farm, man. All this goddamn shit is animal farms. That's all the fuck it is. And it's the homeless industrial complex. That's a term that people may think I made up, but no, it's a real thing. Look it up. And I'm going to reiterate once again, the richest and wealthiest states, provinces, whatever in this country have the worst homeless problems right now. You guys really need to look into California. California is just falling apart right now with homeless people, and nobody's doing anything about it. And not only that, California has apparently become one of the biggest money funnelers for that homeless problem that exists. They're getting millions and millions of dollars to solve these problems, and they have for years. That's being funneled down through the government to churches that don't pay any taxes, so therefore they have no record of what they do and don't do. Now, bearing in mind, let's say, for example, you take a basic church, right? Really think about it. Okay, so the church is helping the homeless. They go out and hand out food bags full of bologna sandwiches and Bibles, of course, and, you know, the You Need Jesus pamphlet, because, you know, it's implied that if you're homeless, you are of Satan and you need prayer. That's all you need, is just Jesus They don't have to do a goddamn thing. All they need to do is just give you Jesus, and Jesus will take care of you. Jesus will pay your rent. Jesus is going to do this. Jesus is going to do that, right? No, that ain't how it fucking works. And I'm sorry, it doesn't. Now, maybe for some people it did, but I'm going to tell you the truth about what I've seen that happen with those people. Those people become basically cult members of the Christian church. And it's weird, and I know that a lot of you may fight me on this, but one tactic, I've said this before, but I'm going to elaborate. If you look back at shit like Jonestown, for example, Jim Jones, whatever, drink the Kool-Aid, whatever, okay? It's been known in communes and cults and shit, a prevalent tactic, right, is they start out by giving you little to no food. So if you look at the diets of a lot of these organizations and these cults, like the Heaven's Gate and all that shit, the members don't really eat a proper diet. So the body becomes starved, the mind becomes starved, and over time, if you notice, eating certain diets like that, your brain becomes more easily programmable. Now, this is a scientific study and things that they've done on various, how did cults happen? Because, after Jonestown, a lot of people were like, how the fuck did this happen? Because, if you never really looked up Jonestown was fucked up, man. And it's still fucked up, and one of the worst tragedies to ever happen to, relatively American citizens. It happened on foreign soil, but it was American citizens primarily who walked right up, drank the Kool-Aid, and fucking died. It's the same philosophy with Christian aid organizations. They go into starving, desperate, hurt people, and they hit them over the head constantly with Jesus, 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 Jesus. And they don't give them a goddamn shelter. They don't give them nothing. And then eventually these people become literally like militant Christians. Militant. And I mean like hardcore fucking Christians, man. I seen some people in the homeless shit where they literally memorize the Bible. They know the Bible better than 90% of the pastors and the preachers and the motherfuckers who are getting jets and goddamn $1 million mansions off of your money do. And they're living in the goddamn streets. They could go on TV tomorrow and make fucking Jim Baker look like a goddamn retard when it comes to the Bible. They know the Bible memorized back and forth. And I'm not shitting you. They could quote any Bible verse anytime. You just name it. And that is fucking mind-blowing. But that is what happens when you are pushed to the extremes of survival. And there's something else I got to clue you in about me, and what you guys may not know about me, is, once again, I have to say things over and over because nobody pays attention apparently or learns anything about me. So I'm going to keep saying it over and over again till you fucking get it. I started this journey at the beginning of the pandemic. I have had residency in places, like for example, Shelby. I lived in a place for a year. Due to unforeseen circumstances, because of the trailer not being zoned properly, I had to basically maybe go over my elbow to, get to my asshole to work an arrangement with my former boss, who was a very good man, that I didn't want to do. So it was either that or go back on the streets. I had to make a choice. I jumped to Gastonia because that was the only place I had a viable network and connections and I could get shit done. It fucking sucked, but it was the only option I had, to get things done quickly. Now, I had been through homelessness multiple times in my life simply because I could not get enough of a living wage to get a home on my own. Once again, you get paid, Gaston County in North Carolina is one of those places that still pays $7 minimum wage. And most jobs at that time and for the last years have paid $10 an hour. And then recently, over the last couple of years, they've started going to $15 an hour. That still ain't shit. I mean, realistically, they've done analysis on it and stuff like that. I think, the practical wage that people say right now you could live off of, or what it should be in America, is about 20 something dollars an hour. Even then, you know, I met a security guard gentleman here who I'm going to help move some stuff on Sunday. He's a very good guy, very nice man. And on Sunday, I'm going to help him move some stuff. And the reason why I'm helping him move some stuff is because his landlord fucked him and his family out of the goddamn place that they paid for. Now, bearing in mind, this guy is a security guard for a bank, okay? He has guaranteed payments every month. And on top of that, the guy paid him in advance to get this place, and the landlord fucked him and literally threw him and his family out in the goddamn streets. What is wrong with the property ownership in America right now? I swear to God, sometimes I look at things in America and it's so cookie cutter and so crazy. It's, just like patterns with people and, certain personality types and shit. I mean, it's like, literally, does everybody have a goddamn meeting place where they decide we're going to be assholes today, or we're going to be cunts, or we're going to do exactly this kind of stupid ass behavior this way, right? Have you ever noticed that it's just too many goddamn people who do the same shit? And that's like with property owners in America. Did they have a goddamn meeting like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, to where they were like, okay, guys, we're going to unify together? And I swear to God, they must all know each other, because they do the same fucking dumb shit. And it's from apartments, it's from privately owned businesses, everything. They know something we don't know, man, because this shit doesn't make any sense. Why are you're literally destroying the property markets. Now, they somehow believe that, they're going to find these people eventually who are going to pay $75,000 a month for a goddamn shithole. And these people have to be the dumbest goddamn people on the planet who own these properties. And how the fuck they got these properties, I don't know. It's not because they're good businessmen. It's because of inherited wealth or generational wealth or fucking something, or being corrupted or whatever. I just don't get it. That's why I'm saying we're in the downfall of Western civilization, man, because it's everywhere and it's everything. That it seems to be corrupted assholes taking care of corrupted assholes. And it's just polluted if it was just the government, or if it was just one thing or the fucking other, man, that'd be something different. But it's like every fucking facet of American civilization you look at right now is ran by corrupted cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about anything but money. And it's just suicidal. It really is. It's fucking suicidal, man. Because I'm like, dude, you have to obviously see that this is not going to work, and that American society will fail at this rate. But they don't care. And another thing that's kind of concerning is there's a lot of property ownership of various things done by foreigners who, I'm not saying it's one country or another, but I'm saying you got to think. And I started thinking about it the other day, like, are they really invested in the future of a country that they can leave at a moment's notice? I mean, really, you think about it, and okay, for example, in Gastonia, there was this one family, Middle Eastern, no shit, they opened up this little smoke shop there, which is the only goddamn thing that's opened up and prospered in Gaston County in the last fucking 10 years is fucking vape shops. But they opened up this goddamn shop. And I was in there, I met the dudes, whatever. The one dude was addicted to cocaine because I caught him sniffing rails one night when I walked into the store. But that's another story for another time. But anyways, come to find out, the family that opened that up, they owned like 13 other fucking convenience stores and gas stations in North Carolina. And they just kept expanding. Now, this family could just pull up anchor tomorrow and go back to their home country and nobody would have to worry about it. Or it could just be Saudi money or something like that. Who knows? All I know is these guys acted like princes and acted like they came from a princely or kingly kind of family. And, you know, they had no concern about the economy or whatever failing, which makes sense, you know. And that's a lot of what you got to start realizing about America too, is America for the longest time has just been a place, from Filipino culture to Mexican culture to whatever, to come get as much money as you can while you can and then get the fuck out. That's basically it. Or send it back to your, you know, homeland so your family could live extra good, right? Think about it. I come here to America. I work a day job. I get a job. I'm working. First of all, I share a room or share a house with, you know, 10 other of my friends, because that's kind of what we were used to in Mexico or, you know, wherever. You know, everybody being grouped together to live. But it's a nice house. It's a nicer house now. Got good plumbing, everything like that. So what's the problem? Even if I did that, it's not uncommon for, like, you know, white folks to group together and have roommates, right? So, you know, what if you had like 3 or 4 or 5 people who can go into a house realistically? And I mean, you know, you think about it realistically, if those 4 or 5 people are couples, then it ain't such a big deal, right? Because 2 people be sleeping in a room, that's like a, you know, husband and wife, whatever. Ain't no big deal. Okay, so 3-bedroom house, you can get up to 6 people in there technically, right? 6 couples. All those people find a job. Okay, so those 6 people, right? Each one of them getting paid what? $2,000 a month? $1,500 a month, realistically, for a, you know, kind of a median job here in North Carolina. So right there, man. I mean, what you looking at? $3,000 per couple. $9,000 coming into that house or that apartment every month. Okay, so you get EBT, you get food stamps as soon as you get here, which I can get too. It's pretty fucking easy. Say you're homeless, whatever. Okay, that's it. They give you your fucking food stamps. So now you got food stamps. So that doesn't include if you use dummy addresses for all 6 of those people. So then you got 6 people collecting food stamps, which is on average $300 to whatever per month. You know, $300 per person per month, right? And food stamps. Now you're all working. You can be undocumented. Hell, you know, you're not on the tax papers, so nobody knows you're employed. Honor system. So, not only are you getting $9,000 a month, but all you got to pay really at that point is utilities. Okay, so power bill, even at $1,400 a month, you know, I mean, you know, what is that going to take out of your $9,000? Because your food, you know, if you got $300 per person, which, you know, could be stretched in a home, especially with people who are used to cooking with nothing. I mean, you know, rice and tortillas and fruit, stuff like that. And, you know, basic meals every night, rice and beans. And I mean, realistically, you can live off of rice and beans. I mean, it's actually not half bad of a diet. It's very protein rich. It gets kind of boring, but that's why you got spices and different other things you can throw in there. But realistically, you have that. Shit, man. I mean, you know, you're fucking set, dude. But you don't have to stay here in this country. And on top of that, with all the various global banking options and stuff like that now, you could just fucking throw that money right up into goddamn all the fucking PayPals and Cash Apps and whatever, send that shit across the fucking world, and there you go. Yeah. I mean, it's a great scheme. And then right before the shit hits the fan, get the fuck out. I mean, you know, and people probably looking at that and like, okay, well, that's a fucking shitty whatever. No, that's fucking smart. And I have to admit, I'm actually very, very, very impressed by what foreign people have been able to do to this country. And if they had any kind of loyalty to America, 10, 15 years ago, man, that shit's been destroyed in the last 10 to 15 years by them saying, get rid of the goddamn immigrants, and the immigrants are the problem, and fuck the immigrants, and let's go kill all the Mexican babies and all this shit, right? Like, whatever loyalty they had to this country has gotten shitted away by the far right agenda. So there you go. I mean, realistically, sorry, we're getting snowed on here pretty bad, but I got weatherproofing and whatever. But anyways, reason why I don't go to shelters, let's get back to the original point before this shit runs out of space. It's like I said, a goddamn animal farm. You never know what you're walking into when you get in there, man. I could be sleeping beside a pedophile. I could be sleeping beside a rapist. I could be sitting beside a fucking murderer. I could be sitting beside somebody who thinks they're seeing Jesus in the TV, and they think that I am a 400-pound gorilla that's trying to murder them, and they end up sticking a knife in my face in the night. And you know who's going to stop them? Not goddamn any of the old ladies watching the shelter. I can tell you that much. And like I said, once again, if it's so goddamn great, grand, and wonderful, why the fuck are y'all paying rent? Why don't you go live in a homeless shelter? Doesn't make any sense, right? If it's so viable of a solution, why are you guys trying to pay money to live in a house when you could just go live in a homeless shelter and bank all your money? Yeah, you know it's shit, don't you? And you know it's horrible. And the unspoken rule of most people, too, is they're terrified of homeless people. They're terrified of whatever. So therefore, they never actually speak to them. They never actually talk to them. They never actually walk up and fucking ask, hey, for example, I'll reiterate this again. One of my best friends and the guy I'm trying to bring here, my brother Michael, who I met on the streets, who ended up becoming homeless, is a veteran. His body has been torn apart by AK-47s, rebuilt by modern science, and because of that, the government slapped him with basically, roughly $500,000 worth of medical bills. That has, basically been deducted out of his VA benefits. Government didn't pay for that. Government didn't do whatever. So the man is supposed to be getting a lot of money every month for his service. 30 something years as a gunnery sergeant. Never saw a dime of it now. They repaired him enough to get him by. Now he's fucking broke. Now he's destitute. Now he's on the goddamn streets. He's a veteran. He's a goddamn veteran. Y'all tell me what's going on, man. Apparently y'all got all the goddamn answers. I don't know nothing. And see, that's what I'm saying. Whenever I speak the truths of my life and what the fuck I've been through, and I've told this, I've been sitting there right in front of Christian people, and I swear to God, they've told me, oh, it can't be that way. Oh, no, I'm sure you're mistaken. And I've fucking lived through it. Like, literally, I'm telling them this is how it is, and they're like, oh, I'm sure it's not that bad. I'm sure it's not that bad. Oh, God, yeah, it can't be. Oh, God. Yeah, it's from a church. It can't be that bad. Yeah, okay. And once again, I say to those, and those are the same goddamn people, too, who will never spend one night in those fucking places. And that's what I'm saying, too. If y'all want to talk the shit about knowing shit, live it. Simple as that. And the people who have lived it that I know right now that have survived it and got through it, they've been some of the most philanthropic, nice, kind, and understanding people about it because they've been through it and they know how much it fucking sucks. And some of them are, female. They don't identify as female, but they have female genitalia, or they did. So that's especially rough on women. But anyways, it's really starting to come down now. Good Lord. Okay, anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to survive the night because, with the Gastonia system, I've had a lot of practice surviving hypothermia. So I know how to survive with absolutely no shelter assistance from 700 churches and no homeless shelters. Remember, I come from the land of shit, Gaston County. So anyways, you guys have a great night. Be safe. And I will catch you on the next video.